Welcome to the Kindle Club. This is episode 1. I am so dang excited. I wanted to start a little online book club community where we can just chit chat and talk about the books that we're reading together and just have this little special moment where we have more of a conversation, a deeper dive into the books other than like a quick 10-second video on TikTok or something. I thought this would be super fun. So welcome to the dang book club. I am so excited. Grab your Kindle. Grab your drink. I already finished my coffee, so we're on to water now. But we are going to be talking about our very first book club book. So our book of the month is In Good Company. This is by Kat Singleton. All of the books that we are going to be reading are available on Kindle Unlimited. So you do not have to buy a book every single time for our book club. They will be available on Kindle Unlimited. I just really wanted the physical copy. And I love the sprayed edges. I think they are so dang pretty. So it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I wanted the physical. I can't talk today. I wanted the physical copy for myself, but this is the book that we settled on. I posted stories on TikTok and on Instagram with a couple different options of books that we could pick for our first book, and this one had more votes overall across both platforms. So this is what we started with. Let's dive into like the book blurb. So if you guys didn't see the post, if you didn't see the story, whatever, then we'll give you a little backstory before we dive into the first 12 chapters. So for each episode, we're going to be going over 12 chapters for this book because that's how many chapters it takes a week to finish it in the month of July. So we're going to be talking about the first 12 chapters today of In Good Company, and I have a lot of thoughts and I'm so excited. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book before we get started. So the book blurb says, Callahan Hastings doesn't ask, he expects. And this summer, he expects me to be his private chef in the Hamptons. It's the dream job I've worked my whole career for, served on a silver platter by one of the most powerful men in Pembroke Hills. There's just one problem. He's my ex-boyfriend's older brother. Charming, cunning, and impossible to ignore. Cal doesn't take no for an answer, not with business, not with pleasure, and definitely not with me. His lingering touches and heated stares have reignited something I swore I'd buried. The more I try to keep things professional, the more he makes me want to cross every line. I came here to cook, but I might just get burned. You had me at ex-boyfriend's brother. You had me at ex-boyfriend's brother. So yeah, that is what we're reading. I just finished the first 12 chapters, and I have notes, okay? Also, in the beginning of the book, it has, first of all, we have a fire playlist, okay? Fire playlist. There is like a teeny tiny like trigger warning, if you will, just saying that it's very spicy, and then there's also like a little bit of talk of death in the family. I don't know. To me, anytime a book has explicit warnings, trigger warnings, whatever, that sounds like a buffet, okay? That sounds like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I'm in. I'm getting multiple plates. I'm in. So let's talk about chapter 1. Chapter 1 is basically the intro. We're introducing everybody, trying to figure out who Lucy is, and like why we're in this book and at all, okay? It's just breaking everything down. Nothing too crazy happened. She's doing a private chef gig for a man named Laurent Hughes. Okay, he's gross. We don't like him. He's such a dweeb, and his pretentious attitude is, okay, we don't like Laurent. What kind of name is Laurent anyway? Clearly your parents wanted you to be a girl, and they were gonna name you Lauren, but then you came out to be a boy, and so they added a T. We don't like you, Laurent, okay? Anyway, our girl Lucy, she is clearly a hardworking woman because not only is she doing this private chef gig, she's also waitressing for the country club that she's working at. So, homegirl is busy. So chapter 1, we had Lucy's POV. We were going over like her backstory, right? Nothing too significant, nothing crazy. Kind of the boring first chapter, you know? But then we get to chapter 2, And we have Callahan. It's his point of view now. I put down calling her Lily, eye roll, because Laurent is trying to introduce his chef to all of the people that are at his little dinner party, whatever, and he calls her Lily. Lucy, bitch. Lucy, okay? He calls her Lily. We don't love that. But then we have our man Callahan to her rescue. He immediately recognizes her, and we don't really know why until he's none other than his little brother's ex-girlfriend. And while he suspects that there was like cheating, foul play involved, because he very quickly moved on to a girl named Sophia, he doesn't know for sure because they're not super close. So, little brother's ex-girlfriend, I was unaware, or I think I forgot when I read that line, like, forgot that was the plot of the story, you know? Him saying to Laurent, don't talk to her like that. Sir, you don't even know me yet, and you're defending me? Okay. Noted. I'm having a wonderful time. She clearly seemed so, like, uncomfortable with the entire situation when he's, like, basically Laurent and Callahan are having a little standoff, and she seemed entirely uncomfortable with the situation. I was eating it up. Eating it up, okay? The fact that she's pretending not to know him, also hilarious. The fact that it's making him more intrigued. I suspect there's gonna be yearning, okay? Yearning. Anyway, that is everything that I put down for chapter 2. For chapter 3, we are back to Lucy's POV. Callahan being all broody and bossy and literally trying to take all of this stuff from her hands and like figure out which car is hers. Like, he's not taking no for an answer. He's going to be a gentleman. He's gonna take all your stuff to your car. Just tell him which car. When he looked at her and said, don't make me ask again, I would have. Like, just to see what would happen, you know? I will make you ask again, as a matter of fact. And I love that she has the energy to where she's doing the same thing, but only with him. Like, she says multiple times, like, she is not a sassy kind of girl, but with him, she just can't help herself. Like, he brings it out in her, and she's just a little spitfire sassy thing. And I am all the way here for it. I love a spitfire FMC. The way he tells her, be my private chef this summer, he didn't ask. It clearly says he doesn't ask, he expects. And he does. He expects her to become his private chef. He doesn't want Thomas to get her in his little offer that he made. He sees that she's got multiple deals. She's like, dang, everybody wants me to be their private chef. And he sees that, and he wants her to himself. Can't blame the man. And I like how he's going about it, okay? Might be toxic, but I do. He literally tells her, and when she says no, and he is shooketh, he is clearly flabbergasted at the fact that she said no to him. We love her. We love her. Moving to chapter 4, we are back to Cal's POV. Side note, I love the fact that we have both of their perspectives because I love seeing the man's thought process in the book. I don't like it just being the girl. Chapter 4, the only couple things that I really noted was that I didn't realize that there was an 11-year age gap between the two. Like, I know he's the older brother, but I just thought that he was a little bit closer in age, I guess. I don't know. But 11-year age gap, I'm mad at it. And then ending the chapter with him saying, good girl. I can't wait to see the spicy scenes. I can't wait. Chapter 5, this wasn't anything too crazy other than the fact that she has yet to respond and like accept his offer or whatever to be his private chef. Really nothing crazy here. I love that he showed up to where she works. I love that he showed up to the restaurant and was like, you can't ignore me. It may have been a week, you have not texted me after I put my number in your phone, I'm not done. Like, I want you. I'm going to have you. We love that behavior. In a book, okay? If it was real life, I am calling the police. But in a book, I love. And I love the fact that she's still being defiant, because I feel like in a lot of books, a lot of the FMC, the way that they're written, they're gonna comply. They're like this very wealthy, hot man, tall, tan, dark hair, light eyes. Okay, like, I see the vision. I see what you're seeing. But I love that she doesn't just bow down and like say whatever he wants her to say. Like, I love that she's not about that. So that was all I really had for chapter 5. Chapter 6, I also didn't have much. We're back to Callahan's POV. His bestie Jude, I like him. He is a golden retriever energy. It's giving Riddick from Fourth Wing, and I'm a fan. I like Jude. I also like that Jude doesn't like how, or that Cal doesn't like how Jude is noticing our girl Lucy, okay? I like that too. He's already got a little jealousy in him, and I'm here for it. And then chapter 7, the only thing that I had, we're back to Lucy again, the only thing that I had with her is that I feel like it's making her out to seem very innocent, and I don't know if I like it or not yet. Like, she seems very, I don't know, she just, with everybody else in the room, she seems very innocent and like the nice girl, but then around Callahan, she's her Spitfire self, and I love the Spitfire side. I don't know if she's just made to seem that innocent to like enhance the fact that she's a Spitfire with him, or like why we're playing so heavily on the fact that she just seems so innocent. I don't know if I love it or hate it. Also, the Camille situation was a bit random, like Camille running into where they were changing and stuff and being like, oh, my boss, like, I don't know, that felt a little random to me. But maybe we're obviously not going to be done with her. Like, they don't just mention a random character for no reason. We just don't know what that reason is yet. But I don't know. Camille seemed random. Chapter 8, we're back to our man Cal's POV. The way that he is like protecting her and looking out for her without even really paying much mind to it, and like, I don't know, I feel like he's doing it without realizing, and she's not realizing it either. But the way that he's like, if you're gonna work for me, okay, you're taking 2 days off. You're not taking 2 days off from me to go work another job. You're taking 2 days off, period, end of story. You're having rest days. We love him. Also, Shivani said yes, like, they're in a deal now. They just went on little walk-ins to chat about, you know, the ins and outs, how many days she's gonna be there, and I'm just like, okay, finally she's given in. I love that. And I just love that he's looking out for her, and I love their banter and how they communicate with each other. Like, they just give each other shit, and I love it. Chapter 9, we're into Lucy's POV again. Her cooking for the little old man, Mr. Fred, is honestly the cutest thing ever. He is the landlord and letting her stay in like the apartment above his souvenir shop, and obviously he's letting her stay for a lot cheaper than what she probably should. And I just love that she's like making food for him. He's the little widower, the little old man, and I swear if something happens to Mr. Fred, we ride it on, okay? We ride it on. We leave Mr. Fred alone. Another random thought was, why do all rich people always have a large black SUV? Like, even if it's for one person, they don't have a family, they don't have, like, it's one person and they always have this big black SUV. Like, why? You can have other vehicles. Just because you're like wealthy, like, doesn't, like, why do they all have, it's giving mafia, okay? Why do we have a big black SUV? Just saying. Chapter 10, we are back to Cali Boy. Any man leaning on any surface will never not be hot, okay? Any surface. He's like leaning against her car door after he scares the dickens out of her. And like, again, we're back to enhancing the innocent thing where she's like, oh my gosh, I just said a curse word. Like, bitch, let it go, okay? Say shit again. He clearly enjoyed it. You saw his little smirk, okay? You can curse. We want you to, as a matter of fact. So yeah, I don't know. It's just playing more into the innocent thing that I don't really love. But him leaning against that car window or the car door or whatever while she's like catching her breath and then reaching over her to get the bag so that she doesn't carry them in. My man, my man, my man. My man. Love that. Chivalry is not dead. Also, we get to a part where he's like actually nervous. He's nervous about her for once. And I think that's cute. I think that's so adorable that he's like, I don't know, he's showing her around the kitchen and all of a sudden he's like, wait, do I have everything she needs? Like, is it to her liking? What if she's cooked in better? Like, I was a little swoony there for a minute with him being nervous over her. And like him acknowledging the fact that he doesn't care what people think in most situations, but he cares what she thinks. I love it. I love it. Okay. And then her ending this chapter by saying, maybe you just want people to think you're cold. Mic drop, okay? Clearly we know that's what's happening, and the fact that she's calling him out on it, and the fact that he was too stunned to speak. I love it. I love that she calls him on his shit. I also love that she's right, and I love that he knows that she's right. We get to chapter 11. We're back to Lucy's POV. Every part of this man I think I'm falling in love with. Okay, I just am. We have grumpy Callahan. We have jealous Callahan. You know? And then we have the way that he looks at her with the most sincerity in his eyes and is saying thank you for the meal. Him having manners. That is the bare minimum. But he just seems like the type that doesn't have manners. And that is made very clear when he's begging please in the restaurant. And Jude is like, listen up, homegirl. I've never heard him say please. So like, him saying thank you is just cute. It's just cutesy. And then we are really getting into the foreplay here with him leaning into her ear and whispering, careful, might hurt my feelings that you listen to Jude more than me. Take me on that table. Take me on that table. If that is what we're done arguing. We're done arguing. And then finishing off that chapter with another good girl is just criminal. He, like, it's not said too often. I've read several books where those types of lines are just said way too often, and I hate it. But this doesn't feel like forced. It doesn't feel too often. But the subtle good girl. Yeah, we love that. We love that. And then we're finally to chapter 12, the last chapter of this episode. And they're having like a little cutesy dinner date. It's not really a date, but he's basically saying like, you're gonna eat with me, okay? Him forcing her to eat in general is just like making sure that she is well fed and not accepting no for an answer. Yeah, I'm a fan. But they're on this like, he doesn't want to eat alone. He doesn't want her to eat alone because the idea of her sitting all by herself and eating a meal is just depressing to him, which is probably pretty depressing to me too. I just love that. I love that they're having like a little dinner date, that this is less teasing each other and more, let me get to know you. Like, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my family's heritage. Like, I've been to Italy. This pasta slaps. I would know. And then her like talking about her dream to go to Italy and taking a cooking class there and just being so excited about it, and then like damping herself down a little bit because her ex, Oliver, aka the younger brother, would always like dampen her excitement and just didn't like when she talked about cooking. And why you wouldn't want to see your girl passionate about something is beyond me, but I love that they have like a mutual hatred for him, and it's not like not a hatred, but just like a mutual, he obviously messed up, like he's clearly not a good dude. I love that they have that connection, and it's not something where like she doesn't like him and his actions obviously sucked, and then this brother like kind of defends him or like sticks up for him. I like that it's not that. I like that they both are on the same page, that like his actions sucked and he's not trying to defend his brother or his actions. Big fan. Ending with, can I ask you a question? It's my turn for my flabbers to be gasted, okay? Because since when do you ask a question? Last time I checked, you didn't even ask for her phone number. You just put your number in her phone. You didn't ask her if she wanted a job. You told her to be your chef. And now you're asking a question all bashful. Give me whiplash, and I like it, okay? But then the fact that like she needs to go pour herself a glass of wine before she answers why she was filming herself and why she was nervous and why she deleted it, like, makes me think that someone was giving her crap for wanting to maybe teach someone. My thought process is that she's sharing her recipes and sharing what she's cooking like with an audience, or she wants to, and my thought process is that Oliver pooped on her for it. Or maybe it's worse than that, because I don't know, needing a glass of wine to answer that question just seems a little crazy to me. I'm like, it's obviously a deep like wound, and so I really want to know. So we kind of ended on a bit of a cliffhanger with the first 12 chapters, but I'm so excited to keep reading. So far I'm pretty hooked. There were only like a couple slow chapters, and really it's not even that they're slow, it's just trying to break down the story and give us more information. So I'm honestly hooked, big fan. I am super excited about where this book is going. I feel like for a first read for our Patreon, like this was a good find, and I'm super excited. I am also not someone who reads the blurb. I read this for the first time with you guys in this episode. Like, I normally will see a phrase or something on an Instagram reel, and then immediately I'm reading the book. Like, or maybe not even immediately, but I'm adding it to my TBR, adding it to my Kindle Unlimited library. I might not even read it for like a couple months, and so I've completely forgotten why I've added that book, which is kind of the case with this, because I was looking at this a month ago, and so I just forgot like what I'm looking at, and like why we were reading it. So I don't know, I like to be more surprised than look at the blurb, if that makes sense. But so far I'm having so much fun reading this. Let me know what you guys think, if you are enjoying it as much as I am. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite Callahan, because right now it's the bossy one. Something about it, I just like him being bossy, because it's for her well-being. He's not like being bossy for his own benefit. Like, he's being bossy to take care of her, and I like it. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching episode 1. I will see you next week for episode 2. We're going to be reading through chapter 24. I believe it's the next 12 chapters. So yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts, share with your friends also, because they can catch up. 24 chapters in a week is not that crazy, okay? Tell them to join. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will have links and everything for all of my socials. Also, the bookmark that I'm using for this read is the Hot Girls Read Books bookmark that is on my Etsy account right now. There's also an option to put a little bow if you want one, so you guys should check it out. Use code Patreon. It is an exclusive code just for you guys with a bigger discount than the TikTok code, so make sure you guys use it, and I will see you guys next week for episode 2. Bye guys.